How to create a webinar. When you are running a business, you should always be on the lookout for ways by which you can move ahead of your competition. One of the biggest things you can do in order to gain an edge on your competition is to set yourself up as an expert in your field. Another one of the biggest things you can do in order to gain an edge on your competition is to be highly interactive with your customers. When you run a webinar, you will be able to accomplish both these goals at once. A webinar, or a web-based seminar, is a presentation, lecture, workshop, or seminar that you transmit across the internet. The interactive element of a webinar is what sets it apart from a webcast, as you will be able to give, receive, and discuss information with the members of your audience. This will put you in a position where you are able to touch on valuable topics and answer questions, thereby setting yourself up as an expert on the topics at hand, and interact with those who are interested in your products, services, or expertise, which will create and strengthen customer loyalty. Before you ever attempt to set up a webinar of your own, you should visit a number of other webinars and pay attention to all the things they do well, and to all the things they do poorly. As you prepare for the webinar you plan to launch, think back to these webinars you have watched, and ask yourself, am I delivering this in the best way possible? Your next focus will be promoting the webinar, both online and offline. A webinar will not be much good to you if no one attends, so focus all your efforts on creating a big turnout for your online presentation. The technology you use in order to conduct your webinar will also be a big determining element in its eventual success or failure. Take the time to read the reviews of different webinar host sites, and make sure the one you use will allow you to jump out there with your webinar and not experience any major hitches. When people register for your webinar, you should collect their email address and send them an outline of the presentation, or a few pertinent notes on the presentation, as this will help to whet their appetite, and will make it easier for them to follow along during the presentation itself. And after you have practiced and prepared, and are ready to conduct the webinar, stick to the script as best you can, making your presentation engaging, succinct, and to the point just as you would if you were giving a presentation in person, and follow this up with a candor session at the end. Each time you conduct a new webinar, you will learn even more about the process, but this information will give you everything you need to get started, and to achieve success, that very first time.